Welcome to the Dip and Sip with Bill and Nik, where we dip into the word and sip on some whatever we're drinking that day.
What are you sipping on, Nick?
Again, this morning we're still at the Crown Castle coronavirus. So more French press, Colombian dark roast. I poured a little bit into your. I don't know if you saw that.
You did.
Yeah,
You did, and it's delectable.
it is.
We didn't do our toast.
Our toast.
We always do a toast,
what,
Nick.
what toast?
A toast.
Oh, you're right. The toast.
The toast.
You're right.
We didn't
Okay, you start us off.
thought we were family, Nick.
Yeah, you're
we're
right.
family.
No, I know. I was distracted.
Spit on the values.
Coronavirus. I got distracted.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I want to give a toast, and I want to hear your toast. Just to Gondor, and to the freedom that Rohan came in friendship to Gondor. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clang with me, bro.
I got a claim. Yeah. Okay, and then I want to make a toast to all of the fallen heroes on Mandalore during the purge of the Thousand Tears.
Amen, bro.
Yeah. Cheers.
Nummy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're here again. Welcome to the podcast. So Bill, what's new since last time we got together?
You know, we've had a good time with Brother Butters, as we like to say. That's our bulldog. About to leave to hang out with Mr. Nik Crown here, and I didn't tell Butters. That we were going, and he leaped like a big fat unicorn into the air, a mini horse, as some would like to say, in glee. And as he was doing his big Eeyore / Pumbaa grunts, I had to say no to him, and that was pretty hard, man. That was really hard, and he was jumping in the air, kicking, excited, running to the front door. Here's little pitter patters. You know, my son Caleb, 2 months old, is watching. He's entertained. He's loving it. And as I close the door behind me, I see Butters' big fat face, full of Pillsbury dough, like I betrayed him.
He probably thought you were going on a walk, huh?
Or going in the car for a ride with Dad.
Oh, man.
And I never said anything. But saying no is probably one of the hardest things at some point, and it's actually one of the easiest, and it gets annoying with Butters. But that time it was really hard to say no. So that's kind of the update with me, man. What's been going on with you?
Let's see. Well, Emily went to the store yesterday and had to fight people for food, but she was able to round up enough stuff for a stew. So we're gonna have stew tonight. That's exciting. All of my updates are food related. Last night, first time in my life, had avocado toast.
Dude.
And so I could say now I am officially a millennial. And it was really good. It was tasty. I'm normally not a fan of avocado.
It's a slow cat for you.
Get out of here. I'm so annoyed at you.
It's a big deal, man.
But yeah, had avocado toast. It was on English muffin and a little bit of salt and pepper and some butter. So tasty, so good. I could see why people like it, but also like it would be expensive because avocados aren't cheap. You know?
Yeah, you gotta fight for those bad boys.
Yeah,
You gotta fight for them, especially. I mean, they're filling.
they are.
They can definitely. I know a lot of athletes like to have avocados on hand and hikers, and bikers,
Wait, on ham
and runners. Did
or
I say
on
ham?
or
On hand.
on hand? Okay.
Not on ham.
I'm
Don't.
like, oh, okay.
You can do it, I guess. That's
Man,
kind of fun
that
too.
Sounds good. Little ham wrap.
but it helps to fill the tummy. Good carbo load. It's always nice.
Yeah.
Good recovery.
Is it avocado like just pure fat though?
Yeah.
It's good for you though, right?
If you are trying to lose weight and you're just eating a bunch of avocados, take a break. Pump the brakes.
Not good for you.
Not the best.
Gotcha.
But if you are in a time frame where you are just trying to beef up or be healthy all around, avocados are great. Are they a fruit or vegetable?
I think they're a fruit because they grow on a tree.
Dude, see, this is messing
No,
me
wait.
up.
I heard they're technically a berry.
Stop, dude. I can't do this.
Someone told me that.
You can't.
I don't know what that means though. I think berries have to grow on a vine. That doesn't sound right.
My mind is blown right now. I can't even handle
that
these.
doesn't sound right. No, just
No, dude, I don't know anymore. But avocados, have it. It's a great snack. I like that you're trying this avocado toast because it's simple, it's easy, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's salt and pepper. Come on, spice my life up.
Ooh, you know what would have been good is a little bit of hot sauce on there.
Oh, dude,
Just a little bit. Maybe some Parmesan cheese.
jeez, please.
What about some thinly sliced seared steak right on top?
Dude, you had me at
Thinly,
Steak.
thinly sliced.
thinly sliced. Steak, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Does Texas Roadhouse deliver? I'm not trying to be on a tangent, but like now you've got me on this bloomin' onion vibe with their sauce, the dippage.
I don't know. I'm sure they do now. Or at least they have pickup.
Oh my gosh, dude. I could eat it for breakfast. No
Sorry,
time.
Bill. I didn't remember not to talk about food around you.
It's okay, man. We clinked.
Yeah. We clinked. To Texas Roadhouse Grill.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. It's
Where
important.
friends meet.
Where friends meet. Is it that Chili's?
I think it's Applebee's and Chili's and Texas. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh, hey, what's up, Emily?
Hey, my wife just walked in.
What?
She's so beautiful. For those of you who don't know her,
Oh.
there she is.
Ah.
She's coming to get coffee.
I think I found the fifth element. It found us.
I was going to say the fifth element's a mess. Is it chaos? Is that what the element is?
What are your thoughts on Frozen 2? Nick broke it down yesterday, and we can hear you even just speaking right now. What are your thoughts from Frozen 2?
I thought it was good.
Put that on the newspaper review. I thought it was good.
I thought the music was good. That was a very entertaining movie. Well, see you guys later.
Okay. Take care.
Bye, babe. I love you. I guess with that, this is a great segue into what we're talking about today. We're talking about the appropriate use of technology during the quarantine, or really, I guess, during any time. Let's not put it in a box here. I got a box right here. Take it out, Bill. Take it out.
I don't know how to grab technology. I don't know how to use technology. I know how to use it very well, but I don't know how to limit myself to technology.
Oh, crud.
And close the box.
Yeah.
Nick,
Dang.
we need some wisdom.
Well,
from
that's why
God.
we're going to talk about it today. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to gather our thoughts, gather some more coffee maybe, and then we're going to come right back and talk about how to appropriately use technology during this day and age and time and week and minute. We'll be right back. All right, we're back.
We're back for you.
We got a full cup. Over the break, me and Bill were actually talking about technology, like in Toy Story. You could watch all four Toy Stories, Tory Stories Toy Stories, you could watch all 4 of them and just see the technology get better and better and better. But you know what? That's not really what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that kind of technology. We're not talking about processing speed. We're talking about technology that is in your hands. We're
Yeah.
talking about how do you use it well.
Yeah.
So I guess, we ask this question a lot, Bill, so I'm going to just throw it out there. What is the definition of technology?
The definition of technology. Nick, I'm not. I feel like I was born with an old soul. I don't have a mustache that's twirled. You get what I'm saying? I don't have a goatee that's thick and burly that I can just hold when I'm thinking about life, like the thinking man art statue. I'm not gifted in technology. Like I feel like I more so just love talking to people face to face, interacting, getting a coffee, phone calls. I care about the heart. I care too much to care too much. What? Michael Scott from The Office? What? No. I'm gonna go for it, man.
Okay, throw it out there.
I think technology is, guys, and I'm not using the technology known as AKA the phone. All right, I'm just throwing it out there. Technology is the advancement of connection between multiple humans. That's it.
Period. I think I might take it a little bit broader.
Take it.
Yeah, definition of technology, anything that makes your life easier.
Explain. Pull that thread.
Okay, so like the wheel was invented. That made people's lives easier. You didn't have to carry stuff.
Okay.
We have a stove over here. Bam, technology. I didn't have to start a fire.
Okay.
Telephones. Hey, I don't have to walk 5 miles to my buddy's house to talk to him. Makes my life easier.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say anything that makes your life easier and more convenient has a definition.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what I would say as a definition. And so if we're going to define technology as that, I think we have to look at, because like really technology in it of itself isn't a bad thing. I don't think so, at least.
Oh, I thought you said it was a bad thing.
No,
I don't
not-
think it's a bad thing
No.
at all.
There's this saying that like guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Yeah.
The gun itself is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, like a hammer can be used to build or destroy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So technology, I think one of the things you want to avoid when talking about this is you don't want to just say, oh yeah, all technology is bad and it's bad.
Yeah.
And
I hear that a lot in the church, Nick. Like there's a lot of views. Either it's, oh, it's bad, we're not going to dive into technology, it's the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's on the other side of, man, we love technology and we're just going to blow it up. And then all of a sudden there's a lack of actual relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this soft gummy bear middle. That's just everyone's trying to understand, but with different people from different places in life, with different backgrounds, with different connection sites and how they receive and how they speak. Man, because the church is not a building, it's the people.
Yeah.
Some people like it, some people don't, but ultimately, does it glorify God? So yeah, I could see where you're talking. How does technology in this time and frame, and how does the church understand how to use it.
Yeah, so I think what the church needs to do is just recognize that technology is a tool, which is almost like saying a tool is a tool, but technology is just a fancy word for tool, anything that makes your life easier. But I think what you need to do is you have to identify what the goal is. What are you trying to build? What are you trying to accomplish with that tool? And that's where I think we get into our conversation today, is what are you trying to accomplish? And I think one area where you see people kind of get upset is, like, for example, when Facebook came out, people are going nuts. Like, oh my gosh, 2000. I saw a meme the other day where it was, pastors in 2010, and the quote was, oh, Facebook is from the devil, and then pastors in 2020, come join our live Facebook service.
Wow.
Yeah, so you just see like
10 years difference.
Yeah, 10 years difference. And so I think
was on that MySpace vibe. I was. No one even knows if you're in junior
MySpace.
high. I was on MySpace.
My,
where you could post your song and feel really proud.
was MySpace still a thing in 2010?
No.
Bill was still on it though.
I was alone.
Yeah. Yikes.
Just gonna.
There was no one in his top 8. It was just different pictures of himself in his top 8. Yeah, so I think, you can look at, just as an example, you can look at something like Facebook and be like, oh, people are connecting on this instead of in person, and that's bad. And so you can look at the tool itself as bad, but it's really how people are using it. Because now, during the quarantine, it's great because we can live stream services and we can connect with each other when normally we wouldn't be able to see them face to face. So I guess what we need to ask ourselves is what are we trying to accomplish with technology? And I think, as a church, if we're trying to be the body of Jesus with our technology, yeah, why not use it?
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, you see what I'm spitting up here?
I like that you're spitting up. Thank you for spitting up on me. I think
You're used to it, I'm sure.
Technology is something exactly what the church needs to actually run towards, not run away from.
Mm-hmm.
And the aspect of seeing it and defining technology, but then also defining the church, as we just talked about yesterday. And then, as we talked about yesterday, the vision and the mission of the church.
Mm-hmm.
It's all to engage how Jesus engaged, how he lived his life,
Mm-hmm.
How the Father loves his creation, and how the Holy Spirit wants to use people. That's why you talk about creativity. There's a reason why people are creative. There's a reason why people dream. There's a reason why people have these abilities to build, to create, to want to be a part of something greater than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And technology is just an imprint of really the creation of the Father's hands and his mind and framework to advance his kingdom. Now there's this difference, and I want to hear what you're thinking, because junior hires, those that are listening, how you see technology might be different than high schoolers. I know you guys are listening, how you guys might see technology. And then, those that are visiting right now, young adults or adults right now might see technology as different. What are and just talking about this, Nik, what are the benefits and what are the dangers?
Yeah, benefits and dangers. I think one of the benefits, and this is really just broad reaching here. I think one of the benefits is technology can help you accomplish your goal better. As long as that goal does not require something else. And that sounds really vague and mysterious. And I'll give you the example that I'm thinking of right off the top of my head. So if I'm a church leader and I'm thinking, wow, there's a great new technology called MySpace. There's a great new technology
Getting
called
flashbacks. Stop
called
it.
Facebook, called Instagram. Wow, this is great. I think this is going to be really effective in bringing people to Jesus. That's where I start to think, hold on, slow down. I think this might be really good at communicating what you're about. I think this might be really good at communicating, what your church is about. It's a good communication tool, but you have to remember at the end of the day, what brings people to Jesus? Well, Jesus does. His truth does. And if you start to swap out the necessary thing, like the truth about Jesus, and you start to swap that out, well, let's put Facebook in there and see how that works. Let's put something nice and shiny on our Facebook page. And that's going to make people want to come to our church. I think you're replacing something and you're starting to use technology in not a good way. So I think one of the benefits of technology is it can let you accomplish your goal, but I think that starts to go into one of the dangers is that if you replace a necessary component with something that is not appropriate. So that's something I would say. And I think, that's been something I've seen just done where like, oh man, maybe if we had a video, then, people would accept Jesus better. It's like, well, no, I think the truth of Jesus needs to be what brings people to Jesus. I think prayer. Boy, let me tell you what, prayer is one of those things that I see go the wayside really quick in the light of technology. Because technology is really, it's snappy. You snap your fingers, you got a web page. Wow, instant results. And
It's a microwave, bro.
yeah, microwave, put it in. Let me cook this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Compared to maybe
oh my
somewhere,
gosh, what are you cooking for 5 minutes?
that's probably
That's a long time to cook something.
I'm talking like maybe some pasta fettuccine, maybe.
Wow.
Reheated.
Yeah, lava level.
Lava
Yeah.
level. And I mean, you say microwave too. I mean, in America, we have a lot of microwave mentality and attitude to, I need to get this now.
Yeah.
And when we say now in our mind, that means now. All right. Compared to maybe some other countries where, man, I need to get this now. It might take months. It might take years.
Yeah.
And I think even just understanding the humbling circumstances and benefits that we've been given with technology compared to some other countries. Are we humble to even understand what we've been given? Are we using it, like you said, as a good steward? So continue with that thought process.
Yeah. And so, I think you look at some things that we're called to do as believers, which is pray. And boy, prayer and technology, there's not a lot of compatibility there. Because at the end of the day, you still have to sit and you have to talk to God. Now, there's a lot of different ways you could do that. Like I see students, they will write their prayers down in their phone, like on a note app or something. I think that's great because then you always have it there. You could look back at them. But I think one of the problems as well, like I prayed, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to like look online and see, like look for an answer. Or, because a lot of times God is going to say to you, I know what you need. We talked about this yesterday. Again, God knows what we need. And sometimes it might be like, hey, you need to wait. And that is very anti-American. And so, yeah, I guess to sum up your question, or to sum up my answer to your question, Technology benefits, helps you accomplish your goal better. Dangers, it can take the place of the necessary things.
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, and then just another danger as well, and we were talking a little bit about this during the break, is, technology can help you accomplish things easier. It can help you accomplish sin easier.
Dang.
Yeah. And so, Bill, what were those? I mean, you were sharing some stuff over the break, just about like during the quarantine, like pornography spikes.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently right now, during the quarantine time where our president has issued a national emergency, we honor that as we see in Romans 13:1. God has put specific people in the government and leadership so that they could help guide the people, bring them close to God, and bring just safety and protection and guidance in times of crisis and panic. In this time, as we've been issued social distancing, it's hard, but we are doing the necessary thing that is appropriate and upright and honorable, and trusting the leadership above us. But there's also something where, as we are trusting this, our isolation is becoming a heart problem. I'll say that again. Our isolation is becoming a heart problem because we have a high impact, fast speed, instant gratification mode in our hand, which is called the cell phone. And it connects to everywhere in seconds and gives you this vibrant necessity, exposure to multiple things, maybe things that you wanted to see and things that you didn't want to see. We're seeing that statistics are rising since the issue, and we're in California right now, that pornography has been spiking 11.6%. Anxiety has been spiking, probably lack of connection or communication with trusted people. And
unknown future as well.
Unknown future, exactly. And then there was something else that was spiking. Usually depression is linked to anxiety. But with these statistics, and it was brought out, we have to really be aware of what we're being exposed to and what we didn't choose to be exposed to, but how do we handle now being exposed to these certain things, and knowing, do we have an accountability group? When I say accountability, and defining that, someone who is for you, who loves you, who will tell you the truth and tell you that is wrong, and will encourage you to turn and look the other way, though you get to choose to go whatever way you want. That person really is an honorable person. And you should have multiple people to do that, to protect yourself from things that are happening. We're connecting on Zoom, the Zoom app, and that's exciting. But people are, in their creativity, instead of being tools to build people and society and to honor God, they're breaking into the Zoom app and posting things they shouldn't be posting, and trying to take over the chat and be inappropriate, and thus causing more chaos in social distancing, which really does not help anyone.
No.
And it's a selfish ambition, a selfish attitude, or even a cry of pain or hurt in that. So understanding this, Nick, and summing that up, what are you exposing yourself to? What has been exposed to you? And what do you do from that point?
Yeah.
And what would God want you to do?
Right.
Would you turn to him with it? Would you turn to an accountability group or accountability of a friend or your parents? And if you don't have trusted people, maybe turn to the church. That's why the church is trying to connect with you and trying to love you where you're at.
Well, yeah, and it's like we talked about yesterday. One of the church's goals is for the believers to encourage one another in the truth of who Jesus is. And if you're struggling with something, if you're struggling with a sin, and I mean, that's one of the primary functions of the church is for us to hold each other accountable and be like, hey, let me help you with this. Don't let me, I'm not going to judge you, but let me help you. And so, yeah, if this is something you're struggling with, man, this is what the church exists for. Let's reach out to each other and be like, I need some serious accountability here because I'm alone and no one is watching me and I'm making a lot of dumb decisions. I think our attitude during this, there's actually a verse that I want to read here. This is in Matthew 5, when Jesus is talking about all kinds of different things. Sermon on the Mount. This is what he says. You've heard that it was said that you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better for you. For it is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body be thrown into hell. And I would, if I was going to do a Nik translation,
Do it.
I'm
Do
gonna
a
do
Nik
it.
translation.
Yeah, Nik translation.
Yeah.
I actually had a professor in seminary who said that if it wasn't an online class, he would make us do a whole translation, like our own translation of like multiple books of the Bible.
Woof.
Yeah. We'd be
Woof.
looking at the Greek and
What's stopping you, man?
Write it in
mean,
your
you're
own
in
words.
Quarantine.
that's true. I do have a lot of free time. But anyways, here's the Nik translation for this verse. If you have anything, I'm just going to replace right eye with anything. If you have anything that causes you to sin, throw it away. If you have anything. And this might be your phone. If it's causing you to sin, throw it away. Get rid of it. Your computer. And obviously, maybe this gets a little bit harder if there's like a person, like you can't throw them in the trash. Don't do that. Don't throw people in the trash, Bill.
Heck no, dude.
Yeah. But if there's something, anything that is causing you to sin, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. There are programs to stop you from you being exposed and you looking and trying to invite those things into your mind and your heart.
Yeah.
It definitely could connect you with those resources and definitely connect with your parents on that.
Yeah. And if you're like, oh my gosh, Nik told me, well, Mom, Dad, Nik told me to throw my phone away, so I threw it in the trash. Oh, what? That was $900. Okay. So maybe don't throw it away, but give it to your parents, or give it to a friend.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, I am struggling here. I need you to hold on to this for me.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to hold on to this? No reason. No, you need to tell them.
Yeah.
And that's where being vulnerable comes in.
If you're scared to share this in confession, then why are you hiding it? Essentially, there should be freedom to be able to know that this should not hinder anything in what God has for you. So if this really is something that's not a big deal, then why is it need to be hidden? I love what you just said right now, Nik. There is full integrity with an accountability group. There is full integrity, and God honors integrity when no one's watching to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to do the right thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think it's, at the end of the day, though, it's really important to just recognize, like, this is why we need Jesus. This is why we need him, because, man, we can't be alone with technology for 2 minutes before it starts getting us into trouble. I know for me, there was a time in my life where I struggled with pornography big time. It was hard. I couldn't be left alone. And it took a lot of steps. It took a lot of confession to get past that. And it was a process, and so don't think, oh, I'm going to get rid of my phone and everything's going to be better overnight. Now it's a process, and you have to allow Jesus to change you.
Yeah.
And this isn't just stop doing bad behaviors. That's not the goal of this. The goal of this is to become more like Jesus, to look more like him. And a part of that is not doing things that are going to harm you spiritually, physically. Yeah.
No, I
Any
appreciate
other?
you opening up about that, man. You're not alone at all.
I know I'm not.
You're not. So,
Yeah.
a lot of guys, even myself, I mean, and girls too, you just got to keep those guards up and finding a safe place to confess and just, if you need to weep, weep. I mean, it's real for sure.
Any other thoughts on this, Bill, before we take a break?
I think, just with the benefits and the dangers, Nik kind of just brought us to this point of really focusing in on is this God honoring, and really your intentions with technology. Is it for the glory of God, or is it the glory of you? And as Nik said last podcast session, Romans 3:23, all fall short of the glory of God. No one is deserving of his glory. It is his alone, and it is given only from his hand and from the love of the Son. But we fall short. And so if technology could give glory to God, yeah, we should probably seek that. If it's going to be about us and rebelling against God and turning away from him, or making it about the exposure of the me and the glorification of me,
See that a lot too.
we gotta get off the throne and take our crowns off,
Yeah.
our false crowns,
Yeah.
because we are going to be eating ourselves up, and Satan's just going to be laughing and cackling in the background,
Yeah.
and loving you slowly waste away, where you can't be on the throne. I can't be on the throne. He's the only one.
Yeah.
That's a false belief.
The only throne that we ever get to sit on is a porcelain throne. And we think it's so great.
I'm glad he invites me to be with him, man. Big
Yeah.
time. I don't deserve it. Over and over again.
For sure. All right. Well, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to just give our final thoughts on this topic and throw out the hashtags per usual. But yeah, so we're going to grab some coffee. I'm hearing the music come on. So we'll be right back.
Hashtag love you.
Hashtag love you. All right, we're back from the break.
We are back.
And we're going to talk about just some practical applications of this topic, how to deal with technology well, not even just during this time, but in general. And I think we're going to tackle it by age group. So we could start youngest first. Bill, you're a junior high pastor at RiverLakes Church, RiverLakes Community Church. So what would you say to a junior higher who's like, Bill, okay, I hear what you're saying, but practically, what do I do?
Yeah, Nik, this is a hard one. You're not in high school, but you're not in elementary school, and you're in this kind of weird stage of kind of change. Say that again. You're in this weird stage of change, and I want you to understand that it's okay to have these things that are happening around you and within you, and it's totally normal. But when your mind is kind of growing, your body's growing, your thought processes are developing, you are probably sucking in more information. You start kind of making observations and making decisions for yourself, either quickly or not too quickly with the influences around you. So I'd say number one, what are your main influences? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they building you up? Are they tearing you down? Are they honoring God? Are they drawing you away from God? And so with technology, one thing in a practical application, I hear a lot of students go into their rooms and just be on their phones. And that's just objectively like, well, that's all I do. I would say that's very unhealthy. You can't stay on your phone for hours because now you are giving yourself away to possible connectivity with relationship in other different areas. And ultimately, the ultimate relationship is connecting with God. God wants to connect with you. Well, Bill, I don't have anyone to connect to. I don't have friends. I don't have anyone I can trust. I don't know if my family, I want to connect with them. I totally understand. As Nik said, use technology as a tool, but don't use technology as God. It will not be the saving, nourishing friendship that you need.
No.
You need true family, human families. You need human church family. You need human friends. You need God, like the real God of the universe, to pour into you and you to know his love for life and relationships. So taking this away, identify your influences. Use your technology as a phone. Use your technology in a wise way with your phone, and know connection and influence ultimately needs to be with God first, and that should pour into every relationship in your life. So taking that away, big things, but one practical thing is put some monitors on your notifications. Are there things that are taking time away from you to pray? Taking time away from you to talk to a friend? Taking time away for you to connect with your family? Even though sometimes it's hard to connect, still God's given them to you. So, man, put a limit on notifications. That might help. But also know that your church family loves you where you're at. So
Yeah.
that's some guidance I give to junior hires.
It's a good word, Bill. I would say for high school students, start using technology to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. Start using it for good rather than evil. So, for example, man, Nik, I'm just like really distracted. I got so much stuff. I got people texting me all the time. Cool. There's a little button that you can do called Do Not Disturb. Well, bam, turn it on. Oh, but man, I'm starting to like be anxious. What if someone texts me? Put your phone in the other room. Put it to bed. Just put it to bed. Spend time away from it. Like, and you know what? Set an alarm on your phone if you have to. Set an alarm on your phone to say, put me away. Because I think, especially with schools, I know schools are saying that you have to be on your phone to like do homework and stuff. There's a lot of classes that are on your phones. It can be really tempting to be like, just to say, well, I need my phone. What if I get a notification like you're saying? Man, just put it away. And set time aside to put it away. Every day. Where you don't have your phone around you and you read your Bible. Well, Nik, I read my Bible on my phone. Get a real one. That's what I would say. Get a real one, because your paper Bible isn't going to send you a bunch of notifications while you're trying to read it. Get a real Bible and put your phone away. Be quiet for some time during your day on a regular basis. Be alone with God on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Put your phone away and set an alarm if you need to. Start leveraging that technology to do the stuff that you actually need to do. And I would say too, just to parents, I'm going to jump right on to parents. Parents, I think it's time to start setting a good example. Almost said role model. Set a good role model. Be a good role model.
Both, man.
Be a good role model and set a good example. If you see your kid is struggling with being on the phone all the time, you have to ask the question, am I on my phone all the time?
True.
So set a good example and lead the way. Lead your family. And, set some ground rules as a family. Say, hey, between 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock, we're not going to be on our phones. We're going to hang out with each other. And that might be hard. Nick, my family is not the greatest. We don't get along very well. Okay, well, running away from that problem isn't going to fix it. And don't use technology as like a band-aid to make it so you can ignore people. So that's what I would say to high school students and to parents. Bill, do you have anything to say to just adults in general?
Dude, I mean, it trickles into junior high as well.
Yeah.
Kids want to be led, youth want to be led. That doesn't mean, if they push back, that doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. I'll say that again. I can't speak to your intentions. I can't speak to your personal background. I can't speak to whether you have a relationship with God or not. They're going to feel Jesus if you truly have a relationship with Jesus. But if you don't, they're going to feel a relationship from someone who's rebelling against Jesus, just objectively, bottom line, and that's going to trickle into their lives. So as Nik said, example, role model, teacher, friend, lover. You guys have multiple hats. We love you. We care about you. But also, too, as a church, we got to partner with you. And we can't do it alone. God gave them you. Just remember that. God gave them you. He trusted you with them 24 hours a day. So just be encouraged in that. Be encouraged in that because they want inherently the need to be led, to be taught, to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to have an identity in God. But they need examples.
Yeah. They need the example. Well, what's the hashtag for today, Bill?
The hashtag for today is hashtag gummy bear gooiness bra.
Okay. Wait, what does that mean?
Hashtag gummy bear gooiness bra. Sometimes when we are in two different topics and two different places and two different pillars and you're just in the middle and you're like, dude, I don't know if I'm in the middle. I don't know if I'm in the soft center where I see this side or this side and I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm on the far right, I'm on the far left, but I know that the middle is one of the most important places to be because in that, God has put me in a healthy place. God has put me in the place of where He wants me to be. So in that gummy bear middle, seek Him, find Him, draw near to Him as He wants to draw near to you. I want to leave you with a Bible verse, 1 Kings 19:12. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire came a gentle whisper. Our God is powerful. He is also powerful in the whispers. Gummy bear middle, gooiness. You love gummy bears, but when you get to the middle of a gummy bear, maybe God's trying to whisper to you. Maybe God's trying to get to the middle of your heart. Get to the middle of your mind. Get to the middle of what is going on with you in order to show you Himself. But you got to listen to the whisper because God can come like a whisper. Hashtag gummy bear gooiness, bro.
You know, Bill, I find that sometimes, like very much like a gummy bear that has been left out for too long, and it gets that kind of hard shell. You know what I'm saying? But you decide to eat it anyways.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to penetrate to that gooey center.
Yeah.
I think if you're out there listening to this and you're like, wow, Jesus sounds really great, but I've been sitting in my sin for so long, and I tried praying and I'm not feeling anything change.
Like that hard exterior.
Yeah, you might still have that hard exterior, and it's going to take some time to get to that gooey center. It's going to take some time. And so I would say don't give up. Don't give up. God is going to keep working on you.
Yeah.
So let God get to that gooey center, brah.
Doesn't it feel good to say that?
That's an excellent hashtag.
Yeah.
Excellent hashtag.
I like what you said too about the hard exterior.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's big. He's still working on us.
Still working on us. Just like that gummy bear that you found in the couch. And you decided to eat it anyways.
The one underneath the lunch table where all the kids are eating.
Ew. Gross. Everyone loves gummy bears.
I don't know anyone who does. And if they don't, this podcast is meant for you.
Yikes. Wow. This podcast, just so everyone knows, is for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for sinners. There's no judgment. But heaven help you if you don't like gummy bears. And we're just saying there's no hope. If you don't like gummy bears, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, we love you guys.
We love you guys. Dip and sip, sipping it up and dipping with you. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's gooey.
It's gooey. We're getting, man, that's a tagline for our podcast. Dip and sip. Get into the gooey center of the gummy bear. And P.S. If you don't like gummy bears, don't listen to this podcast because you're obviously of the devil.
We forgive you. Don't worry.
We don't.
Oh, shoot.
We don't.
Switch sides.
No,
there it
we
is.
don't. No forgiveness for that. All right. Before this gets out of control, peace and love. Love you guys. Adios.
Peace.